Here we go. All right. Peaceful greetings, all. I'm about to go over this most important, most necessary information that, again, I'm aware people have been misinformed about. So, in your journey to status correction, right, you have individuals who will say the all caps name is evidence of a corporate capacity. And they're absolutely right. But then they will go on to say that the all caps name is not the human being, which again, they are absolutely correct. But what they're not saying is that when you're dealing with nationality, when you're dealing with a state, when you're dealing with a nation, when you're dealing with a country, you're dealing with corporate laws. Okay? The artificial person, the artificial entity, the ens legis, is a corporate body. It is corporate. You are supposed to act in a corporate capacity when engaging in commerce. Make sense? So for those individuals out there who would like to who would like to express some type of disdain in reference to the all caps name, for those individuals, if you do not wish to correct your corporate status, your commercial status, your principal status, if you don't wish to do that, by all means, please, by all means, keep this shit out your mouth. Okay? There are also a lot of Moorish Americans out here, specifically who I'm talking to, who like to tell you about the all caps name. Most of these individuals, I can assure you, have no business background. Zero. Right? Along with them not having that type of background, they have not studied the literature that was given to them by the one that some even profess to say they follow. Right? Let me see here. Let me find this particular book. And we can go into this book and and see some things that these Moorish Americans just so coincidentally overlooked, right? It's just, let me see. Uh, uh, so I must have it on the bed then. Let me check. See if it's on the bed. But we're going to go over the filings of this Moorish movement, and we're going to consider the actions that were taken by its founders. Let me take another look. Surprised to be looking for it like this. What have been here? That's very peculiar. No, I don't believe that I lent that book out. That's most likely one of the books I wouldn't lend out anyway. Oh, wait a minute. No. There we go. All right. All right. Thank you for your patience. This is the book that I'm looking for, that I was looking for. Okay. Hmm. Okay, we want to show the difference. So when Noble Drew Ali established his civic organization, right? When the civic organization was filed, if you can see, the names were now written in all caps. You see that? This is for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Okay. So that was the civic organization. Now when Noble Drew Ali basically turned his civic organization into a religious corporation, he did so in all caps. All right, so this is that one. Do we have the actual? Did the brother just so happen to not put that in here? That would be a sin and a shame. But we'll still show that part. Yeah, I don't see it in there. All right, so I'm just going to show you. So, okay, here we go. So if you look at this here, This is the religious affidavit of organization. And you see that in this one, the names of the individuals are in all capital letters. They're in all caps. You see it? Let me, so that we can focus in. Right under Morris Science Temple of America, you got these names. And these names differ from the individual's names, regular names, right? Example, we have E. Mealy N. Okay? And it's in all capitals. Why? Because he is a vestryman. Okay? Because this is the name that's on that shows you he is a businessman. All right? And his true name is Edward Mealy. Edward Mealy Yield. So he signs this way. He operates in business this way because he's operating in his national capacity. Don't believe me? When I filled out my passport, when I filled out for this passport, I wrote my name. This is how I wrote my name. Upper lower. That was on box number 1. It was David Sell, Brandy Eugene. In box number 9, I wrote the name that I've been known to use. This is the name that I was born with. I also wrote it regular, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower. When I received my corporate person, the artificial person that acts as the creditor in commerce, because we're talking about business, the name is written in all caps. Not because it doesn't pertain to me. This is my person. I have the right to be secured in my person. I've secured my person this way. If I'm going to be doing business, all right, I need to have the proper business credentials. Got people out there talking about, oh yeah, the all capital letters name is showing you that that's evidence of slavery. No, it is not. When you hear people talk like that, what you're really hearing is ignorance. People are ignorant. And in their ignorance and even their arrogance, they're attempting to convince you of what they're dealing with when they're not. I have yet to Taj. I don't even really want to mention names. I have yet to see any of these Moorish Americans explain uh, why in detail. Why is your name in all caps? They'll tell you because at birth they gave you a business. Okay. So this is the name given to me as a business. Now explain to me how that's slavery. Oh, because they're not identifying the human. The human acts in behalf of the business. The business is for the benefit of the human. So what are these people talking about? Right? The all capital letters name is showing you that you can operate and that you have been operating, whether you know it or not, in a corporate capacity. That's it. Right? I know of a brother who went to the extent to have it documented in law that he's not to be recognized or acknowledged as the all caps name. Okay, so they might not put it on whatever, but believe you me, in the system, in any system that brother may work in, that name is going to be in all caps. Not because the processing officer was being negligent or facetious, but because that's how it is in the system. I know a sister right now, who again refuses. I mean, and they have the right to feel this way, right? But they say that all capital letters name is not them, and they're not wrong. But that all capital letters name is for them. That all caps name, that is your person. People act as persons. It's an act. Okay? Let me give you an example. And I've used this one, and I'm going to keep using this one because it just makes sense. All right? We have Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is one of the people. He's a human being. Okay? He's an actor. Very known actor. Right? And one of the roles that he plays, Islam, is Batman. So Michael Keaton plays Batman. Right? But Michael Keaton also plays Bruce Wayne. Okay? So both of these names are characters. If he is the people, then these are his persons. This is how he's known within the play, within the business, during the acts as they are filming, as they are accounting for. Okay? So when I was born with the name, we'll just keep it short, Brandon Davis. All right? And in order for me to be able to do business in the United States and pretty much worldwide, there had to be a personal account registered with the state that will provide for me the proxy to do my business. Okay? And so when my mother registered my trade name, because that's what it is, it's your trade name, it became all caps. This is my trade name. You're right. This is not me. This is my person. And then when I became of age and I recognized that I no longer desired to operate in the capacity of a sole proprietor, in which the business and the one who runs the business are non-distinguishable from each other, I handed this in. I said, here, I pledge this as collateral here. Take that. Let me upgrade to a corporate business. Let me upgrade, right? And so with the upgrade, I took the same name and I've given it a title. This is now my assumed name. This name is a sole proprietor. This is not distinguishable as a person. Why? Because this personality does not think. It cannot be distinguished. It has one rule. But this personality, this person, is recognized as being the benefit of this person. I'm telling people talking about Minnesota Rule 220 and, all caps and assume that this is your assumed name certificate. This is my assumed name certificate. Why? Because this name has a title that's similar, but not the same. It is distinguishable. I do business in my free national name, not in my debtor name. Both of these are my persons. Brandon Davis is Bruce Wayne, and Brandon Davis L is Batman. You're in business. You're here to do business. Right? Jesus said, don't you know I'm about my Father's business? So Jesus was a businessman. When he left and he came back, those 18 missing years, he went to learn business. And what does he do? He comes back to his place of business and he sees that people have been doing business inappropriately in his name and in his Father's name. This is you coming back and you're turning over the tables. You're stopping the economic enslavement. You're stopping it. You're turning over the tables. You're turning over a new leaf. Now they have to let you know what's on your name. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, within the doctrine of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Americans are taught that they have two selves. The higher and the lower. You have a higher self and a lower self. Neither one of these are you, the inner self. The soul and the flesh are your two selves. Right? This is you. You are justice. And you have your debtor self and your creditor self. These are your two selves. This whole side over here deals with assets. things, stuff, property. This is an asset. This person is an asset. That's all that it is. It is a thing. It is stuff. What is it? It's a bond. It is a financial instrument. It is the straw man. It is the person on paper. It is just the person on paper. And this person's job is to hold property. That's all it's there for. This is your lowest self. This is your sole proprietorship. This is your minor account. This is your public estate. I don't know how many other ways I can give it to you. Right? This side, when you're dealing with accounting, because what is the father's business? The father is an auditor. You are an auditor. You hold account. You look at the debts or your bad deeds or your sins and you redeem them. This is the side of redemption. This is things and stuff. This deals with people. This is a non-living status. As a sole proprietorship, the business and the man or the woman are indistinguishable, meaning that the nature that the man or woman is acting in that's being acknowledged is that of a paper person. It's darkness. It has no consciousness. You're completely liable. Period. You have no security. This is unsecured business. This is how people secure their businesses. If this is a sole prop, this becomes an organization. How did I get this? I filed an affidavit of religious organization to get my passport. It was in my affidavit. My name and principles was that I answer and apply up to my state constitutional government. This whole credited sale deals with the living people, right? And so Bruce Wayne, right? Bruce Wayne is unsecured. Okay, Bruce Wayne and what is it, Wayne Manors, I'm not quite sure. His business, they are inseparable. But Batman secures Bruce Wayne. He protects Bruce Wayne. He protects Bruce Wayne's business. That's this over here. That's what this is. This is that personality. So Michael Keaton has two personalities, two selves. And both of these selves, in the end, get him paid. He benefits from portraying Bruce Wayne and then Batman. And you're supposed to understand this for yourself. This is how things apply to yourself. Okay? From the west to the east. From hell to heaven. Okay? If y'all want to see it right, this is the right side of your Lord. This is the side you want to be on. This is the sinner side. This is the redeeming side. Okay? Okay. So in our Moorish literature, we're also taught that we're not Negroes, blacks, or coloreds. Right? He's telling us that we don't act in this capacity. Certain people have been identified as corporate employees of the federal government and not of any state government. So they're not national, They're just federal. They're looked after. And these people have been called blacks and Negroes and coloreds and Ethiopians, and even in this day, African Americans, or what other name and brand that others desire to place upon them, and not upon themselves. Right? So Drew Ali is saying, hey, that's not how all of the other nations, which are corporate body politics, that's not how the rest of these nations do business. I'm going to show you. Right? He said, I've taken the covers off of all secret organizations. He said, I'm going to show you how everyone else is doing business. Who else showed us that? Marcus Garvey showed us how everyone else was doing their business. All right? The all caps name is not saying that you don't have a say so. Because it seems to me as though that's what is being implied when people talk about the all caps, when they talk about the all caps name. The all caps name is not your enemy. You know what your enemy is? Your enemy is acting as a debtor and not as a creditor. You're only ever owed to. You're obligated. This is the obligation to pay. This is the side where the obligation to pay is completed. This is what we have. This is who owns it. Let me. Here goes your cross. This is the what side. Are you a what? Or are you a who? Who? This is the what side. This is the asset side. This is the things and the stuff on this side. This is the inventory. This is the expenses. All on this side. This is who owns it. So are you a who? If you're a who, then that means that you have the capacity to owe and be owed. This is your birth certificate side. This is your national passport side. This whole thing is Michael Keaton. This is Bruce Wayne. This is Batman. This is God. This is the devil. This is Jesus. I don't know how else you want me to explain it. All right. In the Moorish information, we're also taught that if you were to seek out the devil, look no further than yourself. His name is self. So you have this self, and you also have your God self, right? Having both of these selves and uniting them, this is called honor, being in honor. Because if you are to owe somebody, then your character of integrity would come forth, and you would give the individual what they owe, what you owe them, right? And if you were owed, you would be patient, but you would receive, you would forgive the debts. There we go. Oh yeah, I already showed that part, right? Debits is debts, and credits. Forgive us our trespasses. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive those who debt against us, forgiveness, to redeem, to revenue. This is what we're talking about. So that all caps name has two sides to it. And like I said, you have those in the Moorish community and in the patriot communities and the sovereign citizen communities and all these other communities, right, who are telling you that the all caps, just in general, is negative. They're out of their personalities. Okay? They're out of their minds. Okay? The economic slavery that we're all dealing with is that we are being treated like property. I've heard people say it. We've heard it. This is property. This is an asset. This can be inventoried. This is a financial instrument. This is a bond. This is a security. It's a thing. It's stuff. It's parcel. For those Moors who like to say part and parcel, here's your parcel. You part and parcel, or are you part and partial? Great. We need to recognize that the issues that we are experiencing are due to the fact that we're looking so far beyond when the truth is right here on your nose. It's right here. And instead of looking there, you're looking out there. And you're saying this is the issue and that's the issue. These are not the issues. The issue is that you must recognize that you have two personalities, that the law goes both ways, that the law is a double-edged sword, meaning that if you apply it correctly and someone is incorrect, then the law is going to apply to them in that manner. But you must know the law. You must know your two selves. You must know your debtor self and your creditor self, and you must know when to be in either capacity. If all you're ever going to be is the debtor, the defendant, the accused party, right? If that's all you're going to be is the worker, right? That's your choice. Slavery is a choice. Moral, social, and economic slavery is a choice. Choose to know the truth or choose to complain about what you don't understand. That's a choice. When I was born, both my mother and my father made sure that I had a registered business so that I could flourish in the economy, that I could be a productive member of society. Now, they themselves didn't know the difference between sole proprietorship and any other organization, but they made sure that I at least received the gift. This is a gift. People are telling you that this isn't bad. This is a gift. You're looking for the full faith and credit. Here's the gift. This is a public trust and public estate, right? And it's got your insurance policy number on it. And it's got the QSIP routing number to the Public Federal Reserve Bank, right? Now, where is your proxy? Because if the public is only dealing in debits and debt, where is your creditor proxy? The U.S. Treasury is your creditor proxy. The state. So now, this public trust in the state has been returned. Here, you gave me this. I'm making a claim. This belongs to me. And and what they do is they take the public trust in the state and they place it in a private trust in the state. It's slow about time. Indeed. All of these creditor processes, WE8 bends, and all of that stuff. All of that is handled if you sit back and consider your actions what are you filing for when you get a passport? Why do they need all of that information? Indeed, good simple sense. Come on up and make yourself known, please, and thank you. I'll answer your question if you come up to the page. If you come up, if you don't wish to come up, I don't know what to tell you. All right, we'll bring financial tech. That's not who I was trying to bring up, but no problem. Peaceful greetings.
Peace, good brother.
All right. What might be your question?
1 second.
While that brother's getting himself together, Fernando Sports, if you can't get up here, don't ask questions in this room. Please and thank you.
Yeah. That mine was more of a comment. I thought you were saying come up, but anyway,
Well, no, you're more than
never
welcome
heard
on the
of make that
platform,
simple
family.
before.
You've never heard it that simple before?
Never.
But is it clear? Is it concise? Does it make sense? Is it practical?
Brother, listen. Yes, because I understand ledgering and consumer credit transactions. You have made it super simple. And I at one time was a member of the Morris Science Study Group, but they wasn't getting nothing done, so I kind of had to step away from them guys.
Hey, as you should, brother. I had to do it too. I stepped away a couple of times, but I kept coming back because I knew that there was truth in it, and that the issue wasn't the information. No, it was the people giving the information. Right.
Exactly. Actually, I remember I'd asked some brothers one time when we was coming from a meeting, and I said, "What does USA mean?" Nobody could
Unity, salvation, or law. Unity, salvation, or law.
Yeah, they couldn't answer the question.
They can't. But they'll tell you some old wild shit like unity, salvation, or law, and that's a beautiful codex. Yeah. Right? That's like saying Islam means I, self, law, and master. That's a beautiful codex.
It is.
But what does it mean?
Exactly. in usable terms.
Right. And it means United States of America.
Yeah. I mean, what is it?
I'm a citizen. Go ahead. I'm a citizen, particularly of Pennsylvania. That is my birthplace. Yes. And because I'm on record with the U.S. Department of State, I am known as a union member with all the states, and all the states together make up America.
The union.
So, right. So I'm a Pennsylvanian. I'm a Muslim Pennsylvanian American.
Say it again.
That's what I tell people. I am a Muslim Pennsylvanian American.
And I've seen that.
That's what I tell people.
I see that in the government styles manual. Californian. I'm Indiana. I was born in Indiana, so Indiana.
Okay.
Ohio, all those. Yeah, they
all of these. Go ahead.
They give you the blueprint, but people have rushed, like you say. They're looking way out beyond their nose. But I think I think that's deliberate, because you know, especially, and I'm not trying to give more signs of black eye, but people,
No, give it the black eye, bro. We out here holding everything accountable. No, because I represent the MSTA, but I don't
listen,
represent it the way I don't represent that bullshit. So give them bullshitters the black eye they deserve, bro.
yeah,
Mink, mink, boop, bop. Give it to them.
the grand shakedowns is what they were.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're fleecing the people. They're
Yeah,
fleecing the
yeah,
people. I
yeah. That's what they were.
recognize this. I recognize this after doing my extensive study, not on the Moorish Science Temple, but on the movement. What was going on around them times for him to be out there doing all of that? Who else was out there doing that? And I realized that when Noble Drew Ali was putting together his stuff, you had all types of the highest businessmen and women coming there. They were running to get to his organization.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The MSTA is a union.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, all of these people, Aaron Payne, you know, Louis B. Emerson, Oscar
Yes.
De La Priest, like these are men of notoriety in their time.
Yes.
And they're running to get over here.
Yeah. So
And now I'm like, why ain't no? I'm like, well, if all of these businessmen and women were there, then what's up with all these niggas sitting in the seats now? They ain't teaching no fucking business. Nothing.
no.
There's nobody running there to you know get down because they understand that they see that they can insure themselves and you know assist each other and I mean I don't see none of the MSTAs establishing any insurance policies, which is what they're supposed to be doing. That's supposed to be the very first motherfucking thing you're doing. This is why you pay dues.
Yeah.
I don't see them offering any job placement. There's no jobs out here. One of the issues that I have with the MSTA as it stands is that they expect for the people, the members, to come into their organization, right, and pay all of these dues for the upkeep of the temple, which is cool, right? But where the fuck, what am I getting out of that?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I get? You know? If I'm putting my money in, that's an investment. The people are investing. Well, what the fuck? Where's my return on investment?
Exactly. I used to ask the question. I used to watch the brothers after the Friday night church sessions we used to have, and they would go smoke weed, right? Well, I don't smoke, so I was kind of like the odd man out,
Okay.
you know, and so I would say, look, y'all, wait a minute, I'm paying these dues and emergency fees and all this other kind of crap. And y'all gonna buy weed with my money? No.
Right. I
No,
just paid
nigga.
for your pack.
No.
Yeah. So that's again, you know, this is why this channel has been set up, along with the YouTube channel, so that we can bring these things to the attentions to the forefront of the people, so that they know what they're supposed to be getting themselves into before they even get into it. I'll be damned if I pay somebody my money, my bread, just because they told me I'm supposed to be here, and then I'm not getting anything in return. My issue was, like I said, people are coming into the organizations, right? They're paying these dues, these upliftment fund, emergency fund, per capita taxes,
Yeah.
all of that, and that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But then you want me to come in here and pay these taxes after I paid taxes working for a job who's not a part of the national organization? I don't understand that. Why do you expect me to go pay taxes out there and then pay taxes in here? At least when I'm out there paying taxes, they giving me something. Where are the jobs? You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy.
Yeah, I'm getting double and triple dipped.
Drew Ali said that we are going to be taxed to death. And this is what he was referencing. The fact that Moors are not going to keep it 100.
No.
They got these people out here working everywhere. All they have right now, all the MSTA has at this particular moment is the religious aspect, and then
Yes.
they're not even teaching the religion like it's economy.
And the
Right?
historian.
We got a whole chapter called religion where we see that this is the economy of human life. That's the last words in the last verse of that chapter. And again, we coming in here, and they got niggas worshiping Drew,
Yep. Yep.
you
Yep.
know. And then on top of that, I remember I told somebody, like, his name is Thomas Drew and he's from Norfolk, Virginia. Oh, was I a dirty Moor? I was an agent. I was blasphemous. I'm like, nah, nigga, I got the records. I got an oral statement that says that Drew Ali told the people that he wasn't going to tell them where he was from or who his parents were. And then we look into 101s and it says that he's Drew Ali, Noble Drew Ali from North Carolina.
Yeah,
So I know
that's
that the
what I
man
thought.
told. Well, listen though, right? The reason, so in the oral statements, he tells us why he didn't give those people at that time that information. He says, because I didn't wish for you to make over my parents like you did Joseph and Mary, or to make a shrine out of the place that I was born.
Wow.
These are his words, right? So he
Mm.
understood that at that time, our people were so superstitious, what I call boogie woogie, we're so boogie woogie the fuck out, that if they'd have got that information, they'd have ran down there to Norfolk, Virginia, did all kind of, this ain't what he's trying to show you. He's trying to free you so that you can be like him. He ain't trying to get you to worship his parents and shit. So then he puts this in the literature that he's from the state of North Carolina. And if I say, well, why would you saying that he lied? No, I'm not saying that he lied. I'm saying that he fucking gave us a mercy. That's what it was. It was a mercy. Because if niggas would have ran down there where he was born, there'd have been problems.
Yeah, I can see that because, the brother obviously knew something, right? Because,
Right.
yeah, because I even remember before I knew anything about a Moorish science, I was doing some research, and this was about 20 years ago, and I came across Moorish science, and something about that, I said, what is this? It was something about it. Nobody told me about it. It's just something about it. It just kind of grabbed me. I'm like, what is this? What is this Moorish science? And then I ran across some of the brothers locally here in LA.
Right.
And
Okay.
then I said, oh, this is the guy I saw a while back in my research.
Okay.
And so they got talking about, oh yeah, he's from Drew Ali. He was from North Carolina. He was a Cherokee from North Carolina. His father was,
And none of that shit true. Ain't none of that shit true.
his father was a rifleman in the infantry division, and he was a Mason, and blah blah blah.
He was a Mason though.
Yeah, I can see that. That's okay.
Yeah, he tells you. You know what I mean? He went through the steps, and then once he got all the information, he got rid of all of the division shit. You know what I mean? He took he was a Shriner too. He took the sword off the fez. He took the clip off of the tassel. He told, look, man, we got our own plain fraternal order. We ain't where everybody can come in, not just people who are dark skinned. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
So he went through them steps, absolutely.
And then the brother that was the quote unquote, the sheik out here that I first started going to study group with. He was talking about Drew Ali went to the Pan American Conference, and he said that's where he was given the mandate for the land. So a lot of people were telling these grandiose stories to make Drew Ali seem bigger than life.
But no, check it out. That part right there is true.
Okay.
He did go to the Pan American Conference in Havana, Cuba. He did go down there with
Kirkland Bank,
the insurgent. Yeah, and I have the ship manifest when they came back. And another reason why I have Moors out there in the organization upset with me, is because I show them that on the ship manifest, Drew Ali marks his birthplace as Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay, now did he go in his name
Like,
or did
it's
he
right.
go? Now
No,
the
it
brother
said
said he went under
Ali.
the
It
name
said
Brandon
Drew
Noble.
Ali. Say that again.
One brother told me he said he went under the name Brandon Noble.
Nah, that's bullshit, bro. That's booty butt cheeks. And again, like so my evidence is I went on. I remember there was a time when Ancestry.com was like 60, 75% off or some shit, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, fuck it, cool. So I go on there, I get myself an account because I want to look at my ancestry, right? And then I'm like, oh, shit, I can look up anybody's ancestry.
Yeah.
And so I looked up Drew's ancestry too. And so the ship manifest information that I'm showing people, that I show people, and the information when his name is Thomas Drew and his address is 181 Warren Street. This is coming off of right, bro. This is what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Like I have the evidence. This ain't me just out here, saying shit because I want to.
Yeah, so
truth, bro.
So you got the receipts.
Absolutely, and this is why ever since I showed certain receipts, and I'm not going to mention any names, but a lot of these sheiks in these organizations, they went from laughing at me and pointing at me to shutting the fuck up about me.
Mm.
They don't want to talk to me now. Why? Because I could put your ass in your place. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not here for that, but what, like I told the brother, I don't follow any Timothy Drew from the state of North Carolina. I follow Thomas Drew from 411 West Princess Avenue, nigga, Norfolk, Virginia. That's an address. I give you the address. You hear me?
See, there's one thing for certain and two things for sure. Like I'm up early this morning scrolling through TikTok and I just happened to see you and something says stop. And I'm looking at your board, I'm like, wait a minute. What have we here? This looks like intelligence to me. Yes. And the way you were describing, I'm like, wait a minute, man. This dude is talking about accounting. Debits, credits.
Absolutely.
That's what I've been on lately. That's what I've been on. I understand how the banks on the consumer credit transactions are taking our instruments and depositing them in an account. I've been studying borrowing custody program and operating circular 10 and blah, blah. Whoop to whoop to whoop. But yeah, I said, whoa, hold it.
Damn man. My bad.
I said,
I'm listening to you.
I said, wait a minute. I said, I've never heard it put like that. I've never heard it put
so
like
once I figured it out, bro, I'm like, I gotta tell everybody. I said, Jesus was about his father's business. I'm like, Jesus was a businessman. And now I'm like, all right, so what is God's business? What does God do? God forgives sins. I'm like, damn, that sounds like debt forgiveness.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Because I've heard people
that's
say
when the light bulb went on.
The Bible is a twofold document. It's an esoteric document for the soul, and it's a commercial document for the body.
So what I've been telling people is that the religious scripture, any and all religious scripture, they all have the same. It's just trust in the state manager.
Trust in the state, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they're using accounting. God is the auditor. You know what I'm saying? He's the head. God is the head clerk.
That was a bar right there, bro. That was a bar.
I know, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. So God is the head clerk, and you are his trustee, right? So he's in the background. When someone comes, you're the one who's, taking the accounts. Thank you all. Taking the accounts, right? And then you're bringing it back to him for review.
Exactly.
Now, we know that
Now we know that God, the him we're talking about, that you're taking it into your subconscious, and
Exactly.
you're seeing it for what it is, not for what it
Exactly.
presents itself to be.
And the
then
bottom
you're
line is,
giving, then you
the
pass
bottom line
judgment.
is
You
the
give
books have
rules.
to balance. That's what accounting is all
Right.
about.
Right.
It's like the
So
western
I'm
hemisphere of the
also
brain. I mean, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. They got to balance.
right. Well, you said it
The-
from out of the west. The sun rises in the east. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm a traveler. I'm a traveler on my way to the east. I travel east to creditorship. I'm trying to get to the creditor side of the ledger.
Exactly.
Right.
That's everything fits into that paradigm. When you remove the spookyism out of it, you can understand it practically.
Yeah, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to remove all the boogie woogie.
Yeah, you demystifying it.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm
look,
saying? I'm one of those. Go ahead.
oh, here's what caught my attention. When I saw the name up on the board, I said, "Wait a minute, that's me." Cause my name is Brent Davis.
I'm starting to meet
When I saw
somebody.
Brandon Davis, I said, "Wait a minute, what's really going on here?"
Absolutely. So you know that name Davis is David, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you know that we're the beloveds, right? I'm going to show you
Yes.
something, brother. All right.
What-
You remember
where-
you were
Where your people from?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, mine's from Mississippi.
So look, right? My first name Brandon means Broad Hill. It also means royalty and prince.
Mhm.
All right. My middle name is Eugene.
That's my father's name.
Look, that's a nobleman, noble blood, noble character. All right. So Prince, noble, and then my last name is Davis. I'm from the house of David, beloved.
Wow, that's
Beloved
crazy.
of Most High. And then it's Eli or Ali of Most High. So I'm the royal prince, noble of the beloved of the Most High.
Okay, my first name is Brent, which means a mountain. He descended on a mountain or on a high place.
Yeah, see, Brandon and Brent have that similar. Yes,
Yeah,
yours is a mountain, mine is a broad hill or a peak.
same difference, same thing.
Right. Right.
And then my middle name is Lee. I forgot what Lee meant, but I obviously am a Davis.
Well, Lee ain't no different than Ali, bro.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, if you want to keep it a bean, Lee is another way of saying L. It's just reversed.
Yeah. It sure is.
He said it sure is. Absolutely. And you know that the Asian brothers and sisters who use the Lee in their language, they put their title first.
And then when I was with the study group, I was a Bay, so I was Brent Lee Davis Bay.
Yeah, I started as Davis Bay too.
Yeah.
That's funny. I started as Davis Bay only because I didn't understand, and I had somebody else give me the name.
Yeah, but I just kind of pluck mine out of thin air. It just, But that's
I'm
crazy.
also showing people that El, Bay, Ali, these all mean the same thing. Because you got Moors out here running around thinking that they El Bays and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're creditor. Because that's what the title is. It's you're God. You're
So
ruler.
They doubling down on that.
Yeah, because they wanted to be some tribal. We're not on any tribal affiliation. We're on national affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
They want to believe that El Bay Day, all of these are some type of tribal affiliations, and it's like Drew Ali never brought that. Jesus never brought that. Jesus went into the Gentiles and told them niggas, you could be like me. So this wasn't about no tribalism. He left his tribe because his tribe was trying to get him pinned down according to someone else's law. He's saying this ain't even on law, bro. Y'all niggas is bringing me to the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus went down and told them, "Look, woe to them niggas. They out of line. But hey, everything that I'm bringing, y'all could be just as well."
Yeah.
This is the same thing Drew Ali did. This is why, one of the issues that I also have had with the temples is it's like, yo, where are the pale skin brothers and sisters at? What do you mean? Fuck you mean? What do I mean? Nigga, I know Islam is for everybody. Fuck do you mean? Drew Ali said this was not a social club. This was not a get together.
Mm-hmm.
He said this was a divine and national movement. He said that everybody's supposed to be in here. This is for the uplifting of fallen humanity, not just for the Moorish Americans. What's wrong with y'all?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would get ostracized. And I'm like, y'all niggas are teaching hate.
Mm-hmm.
They're teaching hate. What's to say? Every time I see a Moor, I ask you, ready to do millionaire business. Who is that? Let me see. DJ New York City. All right, let me see. If there were no J in the alphabet, where did you get Jesus from? So Bushel and hold on, no, that's cool. Bushel and Marcus, I'm going to cut you off my feed. Okay, you can go bye now. But just to answer your question, we get the J and we use Jesus for those who know it as Jesus, not because we feel as though that's the name. And with all of that, I'm gonna cut you off my feed because we don't do distractions here. That was just the most weirdest shit. And he just so happened to be a dark skinned person. They just wanna argue.
Yeah.
They just wanna argue. That's crazy to me. Where'd you get the J from? Nigga, from the alphabet. Fuck you mean?
I know where he was going with that argument. Well, there was no J. There was no J in the original. Okay, all right.
I used to have that state of mind. So I'm able to see it when it comes, and I'm able to. I'm not even here to defend my position. I'm just sidestepping it because what he's about to present is distraction.
Yeah.
I'm not here to. My information is not here to confuse anybody, and that shit is confusing. I don't want to hear all of that. You can call him Jesus. Let me see. Peace and love. I'm sure I asked this before. Yet, will this proper declaration? Oh, I got brothers sending. Will this proper declaration clear up the mess that I've created? Yes, beloved. So I have a brother who was listening into certain organizations, perpetuating to be Moors, just period. And this brother was convinced to change his name on his birth certificates and shit like that. And so now, I've been working with this brother to show him. But again, that's why I made mention to these L Bays and shit, right? Drew Ali told us that we were not to get rid of our slave names. Now, I know this slave name now means debtor name.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were not permitted. Okay, you got it, huh? All right, let me see you do it, big guy. So you got these Moors, they'll change their name to Amin Ra Hotep from up the block down the street. Montezuma, Khalifa, all of this extra shit. Bay, Ali, Al Day, Bay, right? And then they'll go and try to do certain processes involving their given name and the process. I got you, baby. I got you. I don't want you to hurt yourself, bro, because I told you to put half in, you put the whole thing in there. You gotta follow directions, right? I know you can't. But yeah, so you have these brothers out here who will change their name, which shows me that because I did it too before I met Noble Drew. You know what I'm saying? They'll change their names and then they'll go and they'll try to do all this other stuff, and then the name that was given on a birth certificate doesn't match this out of left field name And so, the people who process the claims or whatever, they're like, hey, well, we need additional information. And these Moors, these nut ass, these knuckleheads, these bullheaded Moors, there you go. They get to being mad. Oh, you're trying to. What have I've heard them say that they're trying to impede upon their rights, and
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga. How? If I look, I receive cash assistance, right? And I've been signing my name Brandon Davis L for the longest, right? And I finally got them to issue me the card in that name, right? This is before I even got my passport, right? And when they looked at my paperwork, they're like, well, these names seem different. And I told them, oh, no, look, that's my name, and this is my religious title. You know how Cassius Marcellus Clay said that his name was Muhammad Ali? She was like, yeah. I was like, this is the Ali part. The L was like the Ali part. It just shows that I'm a Muslim. And she goes, oh, okay, no problem. Bro, how simple.
That was simple.
Because you see the name, and you see that the name has not changed. Something has been added.
Exactly.
And the proper word is, right, an annexation.
Yes.
It has been annexed.
Yes.
So this is not
It's
a
an
name
appendage.
change. This is not a name change. This is not a name correction. My name is what the fuck it is. That's my good name.
Exactly.
But
And
this
that's what
name has
people-
a title on it to show you that I'm the title holder in due course. And not just the title holder.
And see, these people really right around talking about.
Uh-oh. We lost it, bro. Take a moment for him to get back.
Okay. I used to trip
There you go.
on
We
people-
lost you for a minute, bro.
Yeah, my screen went dark. I used to
Okay.
trip on people, still do, when they say, oh, brother, you got to correct your status. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, hold on. Because I understand there's, like, if there's something needs to be corrected, then it obviously must have gotten incorrect. So I'm saying, well, how did it get incorrect? Nobody can answer that.
Yeah,
You
I
see?
can answer it. You know it. But now, those are the types of questions that I had to ask myself. How was it incorrected? Because no one let me know that there was a difference in personalities.
Yeah.
I was only ever shown that is. We're talking as far as accounting is concerned. In my life, I've
Exactly.
only ever been exposed to the debtor side of the account.
Exactly.
I've only ever seen assets, the occasional dividend, right, and expenses. That's all I've ever seen. That's all I've ever known.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not
Exactly.
getting away from it. It's just like now I realize that there's a whole other side of this ledger.
It wasn't the record, it wasn't the status need to be corrected, it was your thinking.
Well, status, state, stand, all of these start in the mind, but absolutely. Your state is your state of mind.
That's what I mean.
When we hear state, it should always be of mind. Do we share the
Exactly.
same state of mind? If we share the same state of mind, then we are a part of the same government, which is mind control.
Exactly.
This is the mind control. This is the structure. Me and my constituents, this is how we think.
Mm-hmm.
We together think this, and to us, this is the law, or all law. Because we still demystifying, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's there for a reason.
Absolutely. So again, with everybody out here teaching about status correction, all you really need to do is do what Jesus did. Get to the right side. Jesus brought the other side of the ledger. So when Jesus screamed out, "It is finished," what he said, so I'm taught that the one that they call Yeshua, or Jesus, however you want to call that man, right? Supposedly the language of his time was Aramaic, right? And so in Aramaic, the term and I'm gonna write it down. The term that was used to express that things have come to term, right? It is finished. It is complete. What it's saying is it has come to term, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the word that he used. You see that?
What does it say? I can't. It's kind of small.
Mashlim.
What is it?
In the Aramaic language, mashlim
Oh,
means a thing brought to term.
who you talking to?
Why is you sitting here yelling at people sleep? It's 6 in the morning.
All right, so for those who are still, the word mashlim means a thing brought to term or a thing perfected, right? So when Jesus he made the claim, he said, "It is finished." He said, "Mashlim." He perfected his claim, and he told you that he was the creditor. Jesus is saying that he is the creditor, right? Because they're bringing him up on charges as if he's the debtor. And he said, Mashalim, nigga, it's finished. Nigga, it's brought to term. I'm the creditor. So the word Muslim means creditor. When we say we're Muslim, we're saying that we are, not even that we're creditors, but that we're perfected in our nature. We know the debtor side and the creditor side, and we're able to discern which. Jesus said, yo, I'm the creditor. I'm not guilty. He said, I'm not the body. I'm not the defendant. He said, I'm the pro se litigant, nigga. Right? And we'll say the bailiff or the sheriff. According to Jesus' story, it says that the Roman soldier surely did say, oh yeah, he surely was the son of God. All right, cool. So, oh yeah, let me show you, because you know accounting. Let me show you, bro. Look, this is just for you. This is just for you.
You cooking now, bro. You cooking for real.
All right, so we're gonna say that this is whoever, right? This is someone on a cross. So this is a person on an account ledger.
That's a T
Personal
account.
Right. So now we've got this individual, right, and we'll cover him up, whatever. Right, his feet, whatever, feet. All right, so on this side, we already know that this is the asset side.
Yep.
So these are all debits.
All debits.
And this is the liability.
Accounts payable.
Right. Receivable and payable liabilities plus equity side.
Mm-hmm.
So this all deals with human beings, right? The asset side don't deal with human beings at all, right? Because if the asset side dealt with human beings, that'd be called that's called trafficking. That's called human trafficking.
Yeah.
All right. So the credit side always deals with some living individual. I want to show you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show you. So this is the credits. Okay. So mind you, Jesus is at court because everybody's trying to figure out how this shit relates to court. This is a whole court because courts use accounting, and particularly in the magistrate, they're only using one side of the line.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
All right, so he said, "Ooh." All right, so we got the Roman soldier over here, right? And this is the guy that put the shitty pissy spear into Jesus' heart, right?
Yeah.
And Jesus bled, right?
Mm-hmm. Blood and water.
All right, now, but check it though. Oh, hold on. We gotta lower that. Hold on, because it's got to match up. I want you to see it.
Yes, the matching principle.
But yeah. I'm gonna show you. What is it? Liability. Jesus said that he was the equitable owner. I'm going to show you. Okay, so we know this is the bottom line, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so Jesus got stabbed in his heart, and the equity flowed.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, he claimed Mashalim. So he said he said that this is him, right? And then and so the public trial comes to a close,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he goes to hell for 3 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
He died. So this was on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, so Monday is the first business day, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how long does it take for the debits to transact in the credits?
Oh. 72
Now let's
hours.
take another look. 72 hours, 3 days, bro. All right. Now, where is hell according to the Law Dictionary? Here, let me read it to you. I got you, bro. I got you. I got this Law Dictionary up here like it's my Bible, bro.
Which one? Black's, Ballantines, or Bouvier?
I got Black's first edition.
Okay.
I got first and fifth, but we're gonna use this one here. I know the answer, but I want to look it up for suspense reasons, so I can show the people. Where the question is, where is hell according to the Law Dictionary? Because Jesus sat in hell for 3 days, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
All right.
It's got to be jail.
Yes, but specifically, there's a specific, and once you see it, it's like you can see this whole story that I just gave you. You can see that it, right. So I'm going to tell you where it is. HIJK.
Because I know it's always referenced. It's always referenced at someplace below.
Yes. So I can't find it in this one, so it's in my other one, but I'm not going to hold over too much more suspense. Hell is the name of the place underneath the exchequers, underneath the bench. Hell is the place where the debtors are, where the king's debtors, right? The king's debtors are held in hell.
Debtor's prison.
According to the law, the debtor's prison. Hell is that. So he was in debtor's prison for 3 days. The transaction occurred, right? The redemption, right? And so in 3 days did he rise. So he just offset and discharged on the private side. That's all we're looking at. That is literally all we're looking at. In that whole story, Jesus is showing us how to. He's the Redeemer. Well, he redeemed himself. Let me see. So I want to show that. I wish to show the people this as well. EFGHIEFH. I'm gonna show you all so that we know that the brother's not just saying things. I've never been a fan of people just saying things anyway. That's why people who just say things don't like me. All right, I want to show you all. This is Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition.
Everything you saying is adding up.
Oh, you went out again. You went out again. Everything I'm saying, wait, you went out again, brother. All right. So it is in the other one. I just missed it, but I'm sure y'all. Let me put that down. So I'm going to show you.
I think we have look like we have That may be a my connection. Like I said, everything you're saying is adding up.
So, for those of you to see, I don't know how closer I can make that for y'all. Yeah, for y'all to see. Now I'm going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
The name formerly given in England to a place under the Exchequer Chamber where the king's debtors were confined. Jesus went to debtors' prison. And in 72 hours, the transaction was made, the account was settled,
Mm-hmm.
and he's out. I'm out of here. What the hell is that sound? It's the laptop. All right, so what we're looking at here, people, this is redemption. This is the creditor side of the ledger with your national identification. And this is your debtor side of the ledger, y'all. And you in the middle have to determine for yourself, are you the one in debt, or are you being falsely accused and now someone must now be the debt? You are now the liable owner, liable party. Someone owes you now. This is what we're looking at. This is the whole story of Jesus Christ. It's about auditing. It's about banking. It's about corporate persons. Jesus had his up over him. He had it in all capital letters. Right? They didn't write his name in lowercase letters. So, this is your devil or your lower self. They're just contrasts. They're just comparisons. It's neither good nor bad, but it's just to show degree of difference. So this is your lower self. This is the debtor, and this is the creditor. When you hear people talking about you can use good debt, right, in order to do things, there's good debt, bad debt. Good debt has a name, and it's called credit, just so that it can be distinguishable from debt. Credit and debt are the same thing. One is to the good, one is out front, one is to the bad, one is pulled in. It's all we're looking at. So for anybody who wants to come up here and talk about Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, absolutely. Absolutely. I am my Lord and Savior. I am. What did Jesus say? All these things I have done, all men can do, and even greater works. So, I'm greater than Jesus. So are you. Jesus showed us the principle of love. Love in contracting, what Jesus showed in commerce, this is how you express your love in contracting, with consideration. Jesus is the first principle. Love is the first principle. The first principle in contracting is consideration. I've got the offer. I write out the offer. I hand it to you for you to what? For you to consider. For you to take account. And then you're going to show me some consideration. There may be, you know what? I see where you're coming from here. I would like to add this additionally. Right now, here's my counter offer. Now you've getting out. Now, is the consideration going to be returned or not? If the consideration is not returned, then there is no contract. So when you require discovery and they don't give it to you, there is no contract. Yeah, right? This is the first principle. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice are principle equity. They're equitable principles. Equal consideration. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are demystifying the boogie wooginess of business, y'all. Business. If you're a follower of Christ, then you got to be about his father's business. And his father was an auditor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jesus' father, who is also your father, was an auditor. We deal with audits, debt collection. We were revenue raisers, but we were honorable. We are to be honorable. You're supposed to audit the auditor. I'm glad to see a lot of women in here. The truth is being told today. Peace and love. Absolutely. 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 So how do we save ourselves, right? We're going to learn how to make a claim. Okay? And we're going to do it the way that Jesus taught us. So we're going to use principles. I'll just be putting stuff everywhere, huh? All right, whatever. Jesus, this is the word that Jesus used. Muslim, which I call myself Muslim. Right? This is a principle party. The one who is making the claim, who is backing the claim, who is saying that on the creditor side of the account, they are owed a thing. Okay? Jesus said, it is finished. Right? It is complete. It is perfected. The word mashalem in business means that it is likened unto a contract whose terms have been discharged. Full term. Okay? All right. So, you're going to take this to the U.S. Department of State. You're going to give them the information. Okay? This is your claim. Let me show you your claim form. You have a claim, and then you have this is your insurance claim, and then you have a claim form that you must fill out. Right? And for anyone who knows how or who has done insurance claims of any kind, you would understand the process. Here we go. This is your claim form, the DS-11. And just like any other insurance policy or claim form, you have to put your name. You have to give the claim number, which is the Social Security number. You have to give the address. You have to mark whether you are competent to claim or not. If you're a U.S. citizen, then you cannot be the principal. You must mark no that your mother and your father are not U.S. citizens because your mother and father are identified as the state citizen. Remember, the U.S. citizen, right? There's two persons. The U.S. citizen, the stateless citizen, it doesn't have any standing. So to call yourself a U.S. stateless citizen is saying you're voiding your own claim. So you're going to mark that you are a state. You're going to mark no. If you're not a U.S. citizen, but you're a citizen of the U.S., then that means that you have to be a state citizen. Okay. You're going to give them all of the claim information, right? They're going to take a picture to identify you. They need identification, right? They need to know all of that information. This is your claim form. And then you also file along with it an affidavit. You're declaring by declaring your nationality, you are proclaiming, you are making your claim. This is your affidavit. This is your record of account. This is your presentment when you put your affidavit along with that DS-11 form, right? And then your claim is processed. They run all the information. They look at all the debits and they see what credits that you have, and boom, here's the exchange. So now you have your proxy has now put you in a creditor's position. You've secured. Your person is your party. This is the unsecured party. This party is now secured through this party. So this is the secure party, because since this is the debtor and you must have, they must balance, this is your creditor. This is evidence that my claim was true. And whatever I put in my affidavit is what they're going to, hey, well, according to this information, he's a Muslim, means perfected. A Muslim in my religious faith means principal party. That's what it means. It means equitable owner. That's what it means. It means the creditor. It means that I was born with clean hands. That's talking about equity. You're doing business, clean hands, right? Muslims wash their hands and all of that, like at least some of them, right? Because they're doing outwardly what is supposed to be understood internally, right? But they're cleaning themselves before they ever come before the judge. They're making sure that their deeds are accounted for. This is all. If y'all want a silver bullet, if you want a kapow and it's all over, right here. This is it. All them other processes that people are teaching you, right? And all of those concepts that people are teaching you, right? It's just a distraction. You are not foreign. You should not be foreign. I'm not a foreign national. I'm a citizen of the United States, and I have two persons, and one of my persons secured the other. I am secured in my persons according to the Fourth Amendment, and I have the right. I'm a white man. I have a white person. I have a white status, and I have a black status. And when they're together, this is the gray area. Me, because it's balanced on both of my shoulders, my account. I'm the one who has the debit and credit account. I brought them together. I've perfected the ledger. All right. So if anyone out here, particularly, because I'm speaking to you Moors out here, for y'all to hear whenever y'all go on my YouTube and whatnot, right? If any Moorish Americans are out here teaching you to get W-8 Benz, to get nationality cards from any other source other than the U.S. Department of State, these niggas are distracted. They're all of them, and I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. Taj, Roz, Canaan Land Moors, Moorish American consulates, Sultans of Morocco, Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, the Siam Bay Moors, all of the, and there's other, you got some Hebrew Israelite, anyone using AA 222141 in any capacity, these people are distracting. These are your gurus, right? These are your packets. These are your panhandlers. If they're telling you to go through all of these processes, right, and they're taking you out of the United States jurisdiction, they're taking you out of the business that your mom and dad made sure that you had. If they're removing you out of your business and they're telling you to follow all of their motherfucking processes, they're panhandling and they're manipulating because they know that you don't. Because they know that you don't know. They might not even know. They just know that they can get you to give them some money just by telling them this, that, and third. Panhandlers, absolutely. Appreciate it. Right? If they're coming and they're telling you stuff like, I can show you how to not use debt notes. We don't use Federal Reserve notes. That's not money, that's debt. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that. Follow these procedures, right? But we need them debt notes. We need them debits, though. We need you to give us the debits so we can teach you how not to use the debits. Caveat emptor. Just think logically. People are telling you that they have a process to show you how not to do, how not to exchange this currency, but yet and still they require that very same currency in order to teach you how not. I guess they are teaching you how not to use it. If you know better, they taking your bread. They call them grifters and shit. They taking your bread. I'm not taking your bread. I'm not here. I need you to get on board. I need you to get on board. Because together we stand. You see what I'm saying? If you got a passport, if you got a national ID, and I got a national ID, and we bring both of our businesses in unit like rich people do, come on, man, we up. We're up. You know, but if I'm using my social security and you're using your social security number and we come together on some business, it might seem like we're benefiting, but we're not in the right capacity to receive the credit. Yeah, confused as hell. Absolutely. So, again, I'm going to show you all. Right? This is, I wish that I could get some time. Well, in due time, I will. I'm going to show you all a book. I recommend that you get this book for yourself, for your children, right? Whomsoever. If you really wish to get to the base, there it is. Like the brother had made mention of earlier, he's familiar with accounting. So he sees the good in his work, right? When I first started studying accounting, I got one of these. Okay. All right. This is what I got. And I'm still looking into it. Right. But then I got this. This book makes accounting fun for yourself and for your babies. If you can get the basics of accounting, you will see that is the solid foundation. When they talk about here's your rock and my foot's on a solid foundation, it's accounting. If you can get the 101s of accounting, you will realize that everything that you do out in this world deals with commerce, and everything that deals with the commerce deals with recording accounts. Taking accountability is taking up an account of being aware of the debits and the credits and the transactions. All right? If you learn how to account, that's your first, I promise you, you can deal with this court stuff. You could deal with your billing, right? You would be able to read a balance sheet, an income statement. You would understand what it means to be an investor because you're a shareholder, right? Let me show you. If you're acting in this capacity, you're a sharecropper. And if you're acting in this capacity, You're a shareholder. Because this is your servant. And he's supposed to be working for you, not for anybody else. So, recap, and then we're going to close out. I do not know where my black marker is going to. Well, then we will use that which we have. No, it's not back there. It's right up there. All right, anywho, recap. What did we start on? The all caps name there we go. The all caps name is evidence of an existing commercial account. It is evidence of a debt and a debt. The debtor and the creditor. Debits always equal credits. Always. Always. There always has to be a double book entry. Always. Can't have one without the other. Right? So you have to have the debtor in order to be the creditor. Okay, so if this is an estate that's established in the public, then there has to equally be one that's established in the private, because this is how commercial accounts work. This is the nature. This is the very essence of accounts. Your all capital letters name is evidence that you have a commercial account on the record, for the record, and let the record reflect the same. Either you are dealing with a debt or you are dealing as an adept. Okay? You like how I did that? You like how I did that? Let me do it this way. So you have some more emphasis. You got to turn that B upside down, y'all. You got to stand it on its head, y'all. All right, so yes, the all caps name is evidence of a debtor bid, of a debtor corporation, of an artificial person, debtor. But it's also evidence of a creditor, artificial person. So there's nothing wrong with the name being in all caps. You name me a business where there's a corporation that does not, since it's not living, right, that doesn't have all capital letters. Tombstones have them. Something else for you to think about. And tombstones, that means the motherfucking businesses have been what? They're bankrupt. They're insolvent. It's a wrap. But anywho, don't let anyone tell you that whole, the way your name written is going to be a problem. It's not a problem. When you fill out any form, when you sign on any form, make sure that you sign it or you fill it out according to what you understand. You weren't taught to write in all capital letters, so you don't have to write in all capital letters. The fact that you're writing in the regular way is showing that a human being has filled out this application. And then when it's processed, that same human being now receives that corporate identity. That's all it is, y'all. That's all it is. All right. Oh, my bad. I just now noticed that someone was trying to come up on the panel. Oh, my bad, bro. Let me let you back up here. My apologies, big brother. I didn't even know. I don't even know how long you was out there waiting.
Yeah, listen, man, the live kept freezing and all. As they say, I guess they didn't want this information out.
Oh, so my live was freezing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
That's cool. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
it's
bro,
still skipping this shit.
Yeah. You killed it. You killed it with that, bro. That was that was a 1/8. My bad. You can't say that on. You unalived it with that.
I don't know what can and can't be said. I just say what you're gonna say, but be as moderate as possible.
Yeah. I try to be respectful, but yeah, you brought that one on home.
Absolutely. He said, let them cook. Word. Right. Absolutely. And I appreciate I just gratitude for all the love and the support that y'all are giving me out there. Because I've been trying to teach this for the longest and wasn't nobody hearing me, yo. Wasn't nobody hearing me, bro. They was all like, yo, he bugging, you know what I mean? You can't sell that information. I'm not here to sell no information.
No,
I want y'all to understand that everyone who's under the sound of my voice right now, I'm not here to sell you information, but I am here to provide a service. And the servant is worthy of his hire. If you can pay attention and you can put this and you can apply this, then you've paid me. That is the transaction. You know what I'm saying? You that transaction will be accredited on this side of the ledger with me. I will receive that pay. If you can get this information right and move on it and show other people how to move on it without trying to capitalize off their ignorance, because I know that I could capitalize off of people's ignorance. But I have integrity. But I have integrity. If you can do this with integrity, then you've already paid me. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So
listen, good bro.
That's what's up. Or are you trolling? Go ahead, brother.
Got a question for you, bro. I got some information I'd like to share with you, but it's not at this present time. It's not privy to everybody, so we can kind of communicate.
All right. So what I'll do is, as soon as I end this live feed, which I was about to do anyway, I will go to your message, and I will give you my math, and then you can reach out.
That part, yeah, and it's not that it's anything. Yes, sir. And I'm just saying it because it's not that I'm trying to hide anything from anybody, but eventually, what I have, it's going to be shared with everybody anyway. But I want to get your thoughts on it because you seem to be a man of great wisdom and patience, and that says a whole lot.
No problem, brother. This is what I'm here for. I'm glad to have other people who are willing to share their information as well. So, I'm up for that.
And by the way, it's about getting some of those no good tokens that everybody be talking about too.
Absolutely.
That fiat currency.
Right. Well, again, that's something else I want to talk to the people about. Noble Drew Ali was getting us prepared for the 1933 New Deal. He was getting us prepared for that. And it's in the literature. And he was telling us that this shit was going to benefit us, bro. He told us that the government is going to take all the money, it's going to go back to the government. And then he told us that all of the commerce, the gold, the silver belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principle, you have no true wealth. Like, bro, he was telling us to use these notes.
Yes.
He was telling us, bro. He was like, yo, get in there. Get in the mix.
but nobody has
Everybody too
broken
busy
that
trying
down
to.
like you have,
It's because nobody's
bro.
reading the way I'm reading. Like I'm.
Yeah. Nobody's breaking that down. Nobody's broken that down. They've even mystified it further, so they can reach deeper in your pocket to get those no good fiat notes
Right. Right. Well,
that they
again,
say.
what I'm saying is they're not no good, bro. This is what I'm trying
I
to
know.
imply to express.
I mean, I know
Okay.
better. I was just being
Okay. Okay.
facetious.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right.
Cause
So I'm
if
like,
if they if if they ain't no good, then why is everybody chasing after them?
period. That's just like I was saying. I can teach you how to not use them, but you got to give them to me. What? Fuck you, me.
Exactly.
Let me see. Give Soch.
I've never seen something.
Someone
I've
asked
never
me
in my
this.
life seen something that's so no good that everybody wants.
Man, who you talking about? It can't be bad. But if you can convince me that it's bad and that I should give it to
Yeah.
you so that you can give it to
Yes.
God, make it good.
Exactly. Yeah.
That shit crazy, man. That shit
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's funny how people can't even look right at that and see the con right in the. Well, that's why it's a con. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's it's structured that way for it to not be revealed until it's too late.
All right, hold on. I need to make this statement for the people listening now and for anyone who might be watching it on YouTube. If you were to ask me how to go about filling out your DS11 form, I would tell you print that shit out. I would tell you to print it out because if you do it online, you will not be able to send your affidavit as well. Now, if you fill it out by hand and you take it to, let's say, the post office or you take it to the State Department filled out, you have appeared in your proper person, and now you can do proper person business. Like, here's my affidavit. Print offline or get it from the post office. Yeah, absolutely. He said this happens every time. Not sure what it is that happens every time, but probably, right? But yeah, so that's just for the people, for y'all to hear that. Because I had a brother reach out to me and tell me that he's going to fill his out online, and that because he's filling it out online, he wasn't able to take my specific instructions, which is to write your state in the country line and to avoid any abbreviated lines. But I'm going to tell you all, none of that shit even really matters. What matters is that you mark no to U.S. citizenship, because there's only two forms of U.S. citizenship, and they're asking you if you are the debtor. Okay? If you're not the debtor, then the only other one could be the creditor. If you're not the stateless U.S. citizen, then you must be the U.S. citizen of the state. So your mom and your dad are not U.S. citizens according to what they're asking, right? But on your affidavit, your last word should be, I am a free national citizen of this free national republic of the United States of America. You're telling them that you're a state citizen and that you're a national citizen, meaning that your federal and your state, they're in union. Your debtor and your creditor, they both work. They're balanced now. You're not one or the other. You're not a foreign national. Don't be a foreign national. Don't be an alien. People are teaching you to be foreign nationals and non-resident aliens. If that is what you are, then in order for you to actually be an American citizen or have any pull, you need to naturalize. Don't go authenticating your birth certificate in a non-Hague convention. Don't go apostilling your birth certificate in a Hague convention country. Don't do all of that because you're not going to these places to do business. These people are selling you processes that are similar to what the state citizenship process is, but they take you out of your capacity to be a citizen of the state. So don't listen to these people, yo. You get your passport, you settle all debts. If you have child support, there's ways to get to that if you really understand and you put forth the effort and you take it again as if if you owe child support, someone's saying that you owe on a loan. So just like in accounting, you need to audit. I need you to show me that promise to pay. I need you to show me that promissory note, that contractual agreement that you are attempting to enforce due to some breach on my end. Show me that. They can't show it to you. I know for a fact that child support is written off as a loan on your credit report. Who extended the loan? That's what you want to know. Right? But get all of your affairs in order and then go get yourself a passport. And then use the pass. Even with the I-9 form, it tells you all you need is a passport. You don't do any business. You could just give them your passport. Why? Because that's your secured identity. That's your creditor. That's your creditor identity. That's your general identity. That's your attorney general. That's your official identity. Oh man, I'm not one of the members. What do they say? I'm not an officer of the court, nigga. You better fucking believe I'm is. These my courts. I don't have to be an attorney in the public. I'm a private attorney general for the accused. Right? Get your passport and understand how to exercise your rights through it. That's your silver bullet right there. Is that passport? Because it's not just a passport. It is a national identity card. This is your nationality card. You are able to do business nationally and internationally and the world over with this. Right? And for those of you who say some extra weird shit like, they don't recognize Moorish Americans. I got my fez on. What you mean they don't recognize me? I got my fez on. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you all my international driver's permit. My right to travel card. How many stars he got? How many stars he got? Him got 5. Him got his fez on. Well, someone had asked me to write down the steps, and I gave them, says to fill out the DS-11 form, marking no to U.S. citizenship, because to mark no to U.S. citizenship, I just stated this stuff, because to mark no to U.S. citizenship is stating that you are a state citizen. You're marking yes to state citizenship. And the state and the nation are synonymous. So state citizenship is national citizenship. I'm instructing to give the social security number, because there are people who tell you don't give the social or mark all zeros. Don't do that. You're making a claim. I'm telling you the steps to make your claim. Right? So you're going to give you're going to give the name of the personal minority account. You're going to give the social security insurance policy number, right? which is associated with the actual account through the QSIP, right? That's on the back of that Social Security insurance card. So you're going to, what you're doing is you're pledging it as collateral. You're saying, hey, secure this for me. All right. So you're making your claim. You're going to give all of this information. And I'm saying to also fill out an affidavit, write your own affidavit. What happens if you don't put on a social? Okay, so I'm going to help you answer that question. The question is, what happens if you don't put a social on there? One, they'll put it there themselves if necessary. But two, if you walk into a bank and you walk up to the bank teller and you have this claim form and you're saying, hey, I have an account here and I would like to secure it. And the bank teller says, oh, okay, no problem. Just fill this out. And you fill out this form and you don't put the insurance policy, you don't put the account number of the claim on the paper. What do you think is going to happen? Because that is exactly what's going on if you don't put the Social Security number down. It's the same as if you don't put down the insurance policy number, you're not going to have the claim. Now, you can still get your passport without all of that information, right? But this is a gift. This is a gift. This birth certificate, it's a gift. Why wouldn't I want to claim my gift of estate? Why wouldn't I wish to? You know what I mean? What would happen is you're not going to get the benefits. You're not going to get the redeeming power to exchange those debits into credits. That's what will happen if you don't give the insurance policy number on the claim. That's exactly what will happen if you don't give that. So I hope I've answered your question. Right? But I was telling the people that you should fill out an affidavit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And understand that your affidavit is not asking anyone for anything. You're making a statement. Your affidavit is your claim. This is your proclamation. You're proclaiming. To affirm is to proclaim. You're making a claim. What is the claim? That this is a debt. This is the debits, and it's collateral, and that I'm here to exchange it for my credits. That's what this is. All right. And by the way, for all of those who have an issue with Noble Drew Ali, I learned this from Noble Drew Ali. Oh, Noble Drew Ali was a fake this and a fake that. In your mind, he very well may have been. But I promise you, I assure you that this redemption manual, that man, this is that man's redemption manual. You hear me? He outlines everything. And this is back in the 1900s up to the 1929 that he was putting this information out. All of those other processes and shit, he showed me how to just get right to it. I don't need to get a W8 bin or a 98 number or authentic. I don't need to do any of that because all of that is, I already work with this passport. And when I work with this passport, there are no federal taxes taken out. I'm supposed to pay into the state. You're supposed to pay into the state. That's your claim, right? Oh, I'm not paying state taxes either. Then don't require the state services. That's up to you, right? But the federal, I don't pay into the federal. The federal deals with the debitor account. the minority account. All right, I don't pay into that. Why? Because it's secured now. Man, live is freezing bad. All right, well, I'm going to cut this live and come right back on. That's what I'm going to do.